So immigration is quite the hot topic these days, and I wanted to give my experience being a Brit who lives abroad, who's also against mass immigration. And whenever I've mentioned this and criticized mass immigration, I've always been met with, but you're a hypocrite. Usually that's in my personal life, people that I know personally, but also a little bit online. And I'm here to tell you why I'm not a hypocrite. In fact, I probably have more right to criticize mass immigration than anybody else. Now, I was born and raised in England up until 23 years of age. I am English, I'm actually half Irish. But at 23 years of age, I moved to Cyprus by myself. I'm currently 36. I'm still here. I'm married, 2 kids. I have citizenship here now. I'm staying. And the reasons why I am not a hypocrite. Firstly, I'm not against immigration. I'm not against immigration. Immigration is a good thing. It's great that we can seek out pastures new, move places. We need certain levels of immigration. That's good. I'm against mass immigration. I'm against illegal immigration. I mean, illegal immigration is to speak for itself. If you're illegal, you shouldn't be in a country. But I'm against mass immigration. I'm against too much immigration happening in too short a period of time. That's because, well, fundamentally the biggest reason is because when you get too many people moving in too short a period of time, they just don't integrate. And some people will never integrate. And this is why I'm not a hypocrite, because I've integrated very, very well. I've married a Cypriot. My eldest son's name is Sotiris. I got immersed into the Cypriot culture. I go to Cypriot restaurants, I go to Cypriot bars, I have Cypriot friends. One of my best friends at my wedding, he was Cypriot. You know, I love a bit of souvlaki. Souvlaki, if you don't know, it's a kebab, a chef d'Elia, amazing. I drink coffee every day. I'm a coffee guy now. Before I moved to Cyprus, I never drank coffee. Anyone that knows Cyprus at all, it's all about coffee. That's what you do. My favorite thing now is to go and drink coffee. I moved here and stayed here because I want to live the Cypriot way of life. I love it. I enjoy the lifestyle. And I wanted to experience that. And I wanted to live it and integrate myself into that. People that move to countries and have, one sec, let me change my hands here. Yeah, people that integrate and people that move to different countries and don't want to live the lifestyles and don't want to get involved into the local culture. I can't understand that. It's like, why do you even move in the first place? It doesn't really make a lot of sense to me. And some people say weather. Well, I want to live the English way, but have the weather. No, man, you can't. I don't think you can have both. It don't work like that. And there is quite a large amount of English people here on the island. And another thing I don't do, and I don't understand, I struggle to wrap my head around, is when people demand more representation of people like them. Whether it be in media, whether it be in politics, especially in politics now, we need more representation. I mean, how many Muslims are in Parliament right now? How many Muslim mayors are there in England and so forth? Mayors of towns and whatnot. That's crazy. That just shouldn't be allowed. Like, as a British person, I should never be allowed to enter into politics in Cyprus, for example. It should be Cypriot people. I want Cypriot people in charge. And I don't need representation. Like I said, I'm here to move here to experience Cypriot way of life and respect that, and respect the people here, and they're in charge. I don't need English people in charge to represent me or anything like that. Even if the island became 50% English, and there was still like 100% representation of media and everything else of only Cypriots, I still wouldn't ask for representation of English. In fact, I would find it a travesty if the island became 50% of anything. And you look in England, And you look in the capital, London, what is it, only 40% British now in London? That's a travesty. That should not be happening. And some people celebrate that. Some people are celebrating. Sec. Let's change this up. People celebrate that from other countries. They celebrate, move into a country, and then people from their country growing in numbers and taking over. I think it's an absolute travesty. I would hate to see Cyprus become 20-30% foreigners and so forth. And I respect, like, I moved here, I did everything legally, right? Like I said, I did everything legally. I integrated, I work here, work for Cypriot companies, I pay my tax, I haven't committed any crimes, I've been respectful. And when I moved, if Cyprus had said, sorry, we're full, can't let anyone else in this year, you know, they had a quota, which is difficult to maintain as an exact quota, but I think you need some type of numbers on it. If they said that, I would have respected it. I would have respected it. And so I don't get it. I really don't get it. How people can move to a country and take over towns. I remember I grew up in a place called Dunstable, which was right next to Luton. Now Luton, as some of you might sound familiar, Andrew Tate's from there, Tommy Robinson. There are places in Luton that are completely taken over. You don't even know you're in England. You're in some Muslim town, and it's halal shops everywhere, and everybody's walking around, and you don't see an English person in sight. Again, why? That should not be allowed to happen. I would hate, honestly, I would hate to come in Cyprus and have areas of the town where I live, or cities, that are just become like mini Englands. I'd hate to see that. I wouldn't want it. I wouldn't want to move to a place and just open up fish and chip shops and, you know, English bars and restaurants. No, I want to move here. The reason I moved here, the reason I stay, I love it. I like the Cypriot way. I don't want to see the locals pushed out. I don't want to take over in that way. And I would hate to see it. And it's a shame to see. So that's some of my points why I don't think I'm a hypocrite, and I actually have, you know, I have a real right to talk about this. Some people say I have no right, but I think I have the most right because I've done it correctly, because I've done it the way it's meant to be done. I've been respectful, and I haven't had any problems. And when you do that and you move to a country and you integrate in, people really respect it. The locals really respect it. I made some really good connections here. You know, I made, you know, a lot of connections. I've made a good name for myself here in the tennis community on the island. You know, I've married a fantastic woman who, you know, her father owned one of the most famous popular bars here in Larnaca, and they took me in, and they took me in well because they saw I wanted to get involved. I wanted to live the life. I didn't want to come here and, you know, beat the drum for English people and everything else. And that's my advice to you guys if you're thinking of moving abroad, because listen, man, if you are in England, that ain't the way people are doing it over there. I tell people to get out all the time. I think it's done. I think England's toast. I think it's only getting worse. So if you're going to do it and you're going to go abroad, do it the way I say. Do it the way I did it. Integrate. Be respectful. You know, we don't need representation. You don't need to be championing the rights of your own people in foreign lands. So, I don't know. I thought I'd do this video just to give my 2 cents. You know, I complain about growth on my channel all the time, and then I change topics left, right, and center. But it'll be interesting to hear your thoughts on this one, guys. What you think, if you've moved abroad, what's been your experience? Did you integrate well, and so on? What's going on with immigration in your country? Do you see a lack of integration? Are there any people that you know that have integrated well? What's the difference? It'd be good to get your opinions on this one. Cheers, guys.